Welcome back to Drafting
Like a Boss.
This is breaking down Draft Selection 1.6 Dynasty PPR. This is not an approach I advise a very anxious person to roll with. Let's go. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. I'm Smitty. Take a lap. Just like the 1.01 draft slot, which I have linked down below in the description, we're going to break this one down from the 1.6, drafting multiple teams doing different variations of different things, but following the best player available approach. Let's kick off the draft. Dalvin Cook, that won't happen. McCaffrey, JT, Kamara, Hill. We're on the clock. Now, remember, this is Dynasty. We're doing only Dynasty this entire time. I'm not drafting Derrick Henry or Nick Chubb in a Dynasty when I could get a guy like Justin Jefferson or Barkley. In this case, we're going to go Barkley, Henry, Adams, Chubb, Jefferson, Mahomes, Diggs, JK, Akers, AJ Brown, Zeke, Swift, Kelsey, and we're on the clock. Now, we have a ton of options here. One of them that I love even in the first round in a Dynasty, and that's Najee Harris. I love Gibson at running back, Clyde, but more so in the third round if we can get away with it. Wide receiver, DK Metcalf, Ridley, Lamb, Jamar Chase, but I want him a little bit later. Kelsey's actually gone. A little too early for Kyle Pitts right here. So it's between DK, Ridley, Lamb. I want Chase a little later, and Harris. Let's kick this off running back. It feels like the best move. We'll go Najee Harris. We'll go Barkley and Harris. I love that start from the 1.6. Now we just got to hope the wide receivers fall. And it looks like Jamar Chase did fall. I don't know if you're going to land this in every league you do. Let's start off with running backs. I still love Gibson here. That's the only running back I'm entertaining at all right here. Lamar, I'm not thinking about. Herbert. I want a quarterback later from this spot. Mike Thomas deserves a look. Mike would be a good addition, a good wide receiver one in this situation. It's risky, but it still has a ton of upside. I'm going to go Jamar Chase, and I'm going to probably predict that I might look at Devontae Smith with the next pick, just to show you my favorite kind of build in a Dynasty startup. Antonio Gibson, Chris Godwin, Jacobs, Mike Thomas, Sanders, Darren Waller, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery, McLaurin, DJ Moore, Allen Robinson, Lamar Jackson. Given where Devontae Smith is falling, we're probably going to get him at that next draft slot. Now, I do advise people use this pre-rank list to guide you, because look, if Devontae's ranking in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for wide receivers, I advise everyone to take advantage of the pre-rank list. And what I mean is, if a guy's ranking like Devontae Smith number 8 for wide receivers, imagine what he looks like on the overall rank list. He's literally almost 2 scrolls down, so you can feel pretty safe that if you're in the middle of a draft like we're sitting right smack in the middle, that if he's literally 2 scrolls away on the overall list, you're most likely going to get that player back that next round. Let's say we're drafting at the 3.1 and we had to go all the way down the entire third round, then back all the way down the fourth round. Then I'd be more worried about a guy that's like a scroll away getting taken. But when you're talking about literally like 12 or so picks to come back to you, like we're looking at each time we're on the clock, we can kind of predict that a guy a full scroll and a half or a full scroll down will probably have a good chance of being there when we come back. So I'm going to leave Devontae Smith out there because I think I'm going to take him with the next pick. I'm going to go to running back. Right now we've got Barkley, Harris, and Jamar Chase. I don't necessarily need a running back, but I'm just looking. ETN would be interesting here. I think the clear pick here is Kyle Pitts because he will be gone in one of the next selections. So I'm going to take Kyle Pitts here, and I'm going to get Devontae Smith on the way back. I think this would be one of the most phenomenal starts from the 6th pick that you could possibly have. So it goes Travis Etienne, Evans, Carson, Cooper, Herbert, Andrews, Keenan Allen, Ayuk, Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams. At running back, Robinson, Hunt, Gaskin, Michael Carter, Sermon, those guys are all there. I think Sermon will fall to our next pick because he's like 8th or 9th for running backs, and overall he's going to be a good whole scroll, maybe a scroll and a half down. On the overall, you see Devontae Smith creeping up. Devontae Smith is now number 7 overall. There's no way we're going to last 12 picks for him to come back around, so we're going to take Devontae Smith. That team is absolute fire. Barkley, Harris, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, Devontae Smith. And we're on the clock. Quarterbacks, we got Russell Wilson. We got the rookies down below. I might do what I did on my last video and take like a Trey Lance and Zach Wilson and back-to-back picks, because that's how I would do it. It's not for everybody, but it's a strategy I absolutely love. So I'm going to come back to quarterback. I mean, I like Wilson. I just don't want to waste this pick on a quarterback when I like those younger guys as much. And even though they're maybe a little bit, they're going to take a little bit longer to develop, I still love them more. Looks like Jerry Jeudy went. I would have loved to have had Jerry Jeudy here, but let's go to running back. Michael Carter, Trey Sermon. Sermon could fall to our next pick. It's going to be close, but we're going to go Michael Carter here because he's guaranteed more now work, at least out of the gate. Let's see if we can get away with Sermon. It's wide receiver heavy. It's looking good. And we get Sermon. Just take a quick look at the wide receivers. I like a couple of these guys, but nowhere near as much as Sermon. I'm looking at Rondell Moore, almost 10 wide receivers down. He's coming up. Logan Thomas was the third ranked tight end in 2020, and he's ranking so low. And if you noticed, I talked about this on my 1.1 draft slot video, which I've again linked in the description. There's no Bobby Tunyon, no Robert Tunyon found anywhere on the tight end rankings. He's showing up as a wide receiver, and I'll explain that in a minute. But we're going to go Trey Sermon here. We're going to need a quarterback, I think, coming up here. But looks like we're gonna have a good choice of quarterback here. But as I was saying, so if you're looking at the wide receiver rankings and you see Robert Tunyon finally climb up, and he's gonna rank so low at wide receiver because he wouldn't be a good ranked wide receiver, right? He's well ranked in the tight end category maybe, but not when he's thrown into the wide receiver pool. So people will pick up on this when they're looking at wide receivers and see his name. And then they're going to go, what? They'll go to tight end. They won't see him there. They'll go back to wide receiver and they'll put 2 and 2 together and be like, okay, I'm going to draft him, but how the heck is he not coming up? So it's like a cheat code. I'm going to leave him there for one more round, I think. And let's take a look at the running backs. I like Pollard a little bit here, but we really do got to go quarterback. We could go Watson and then cuff him to like a Brady, or we could just be visionary here and say, you know what, we're taking Trey to the Bay, and we'll go ahead and we'll pick a Zach Wilson to back him up. Mike Davis was a good value, even though this is Dynasty. Watson's still there. But given we have Trey, who might not start week 1, he could, but we got to assume he won't. We can't really go Watson because he probably won't start week 1. We could go Brady if we want, but I'm going to go Zach Wilson and give myself a powerhouse quarterback stable. And I love this team. Trey Lance, Barkley, Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts, Michael Carter, Trey Sermon, Zach Wilson. I'm sorry, but that team is straight fire. I would love to own a team like that in a dynasty startup. And it almost makes me wonder, like, was Barkley the right pick? Would it have been smarter to go like Justin Jefferson and put Michael Carter and Harris up above in the running back slots, take Barkley out and put Jefferson in the wide receiver spot, and then move Chase and Smith into the other two? Tell me in the comments if you like that idea better for this kind of team, or if you like Barkley. All right, let's try this again here. McCaffrey, Cook, Kamara, Barkley, Henry, we're on the clock. I love Justin Jefferson at this pick. I don't care what anybody says, but we can't really pass on Taylor as a running back in this range of draft pick. Adams, Chubb, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Jefferson, AJ Brown, Akers, JK, Diggs, DK, Swift, Elliott, and then we're on the clock again. Running backs, Najee's there again. It's going to be really hard for me to not continue to take Najee Harris, but I think what I might do on the third mock draft, because we'll run through 3 of these. The third one, I think I'm going to leave Najee out, maybe manually change the order so that I'm forced not to draft him, because I think that half the time, if you're playing with a bunch of veteran shark type owners, they're not going to let him fall past 1.12. And I think that if maybe he does fall a little bit outside the top 12 right now, come August, I think everyone's going to be on board the Najee Harris train. We're going to go ahead and take him one more time though, because he is the best player available, and that's what I'm trying to teach you here. Kelsey, Hopkins, Kittle, Aaron Jones, Ridley, Clyde, Gibson, Lamb, Joe Mixon, and Kyler Murray. Looking at running backs just to make sure I don't see anybody that I'm dying to grab there. Mike Thomas, Chase, Waller, Pitts. I'm probably going to go Chase again. Taylor, Harris, Chase, I'm liking that start. After my Chase pick at 3.6, it went Godwin, Jacobs, McLaurin, Eckler, Josh Allen, Mike Thomas, then into the 4th round, Waller, Sanders, ETN, DeMont, Allen Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and now we're up. We almost got Kyle Pitts. So again, Devontae Smith is going to be a potential guy that falls to us because he's ranked near like 9-10 for wide receivers. You mix in the running backs, we should be okay. I'm thinking Javonte Williams may be here. We do have Herbert. Let's go. I'm going to draft Herbert. I know it's early for some people in the 4th round, but I'm going to see how this team looks because I think we're going to get Devontae Smith. And we do. We'll grab Smith, and now we have a team that's built off Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Justin Herbert. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I absolutely love this team. I was hoping Judy would have fallen. Top wide receivers left in my mind. Man, I'm not loving the wide receivers. I'm kind of glad we took Devontae Smith. Michael Carter becomes a staple for us. Quarterback, let's see if we made a mistake. No, I mean, I like Burrow. I like Trevor Lawrence here, but I think I wanted Herbert bad. I think Herbert's a top 3 quarterback in 2021. I really do believe he can drop that kind of season. I'm really not feeling the wide receivers at all. And I know I keep drafting some of the same players over and over, but Michael Carter is great value here. I probably would draft Trey Sermon here again. I'm not going to just because I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over with you guys, but I think you get a feel for this draft. I think we'll move on to the next one, the last one. But I love this team. I mean, coming out of this draft, I would be super happy with Herbert as my starting quarterback. Again, he's top 3 in my mind. Taylor's top 3. Harris could be a top 5 running back. Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith, in my mind, are both going to be top 7 wide receivers eventually in the NFL and in fantasy, with one of them being top 1 to 5. And then Michael Carter as a current flex. Fantastic start to a dynasty startup. You might win now too, but you're definitely built for the future, and things will only get better as Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith get better and Michael Carter. I'm not taking Najee Harris in this one, and I kind of want to try wide receiver. So just for the sake of argument, let's replace Henry and put Barkley there. Just so I gotta pause it. It's gonna replace that player for me. Let's remove that player. Let's put Barkley in this spot because I want to show you what a wide receiver build would look like. So if on the clock in this scenario, I'm not taking Henry, I'm not taking Chubb, I'm going wide receiver here. I'm not forcing an Akers. I'm not forcing a Chubb or a Henry. Like I said, it's wide receiver here for me. And the number 1 wide receiver in Dynasty in my mind is Justin Jefferson. So we're going to resume and we're going to take JJ and see what unfolds for us in that 2.7 range. Wow. But we're gonna force Najee Harris to be drafted before that 2.7 because I want to be in a bigger bind than that. So yeah, it looks like Najee's there. We're gonna take out, actually let's pause it. We will take out Swift and put in Najee because we're gonna put Najee in right here because I don't want to teach you that I would pass on him. Let's pretend we're here. It sucks. Oh, Najee Harris got taken 1 pick before. Let's see if we go running back. I like Clyde. I like Gibson. I love Ridley, Lamb, Jamar Chase, but maybe he falls. Let's go ahead and try. Let's draft Lamb. 2 of my favorite wide receivers, not only in 2021, but in the future coming years as well. Clyde didn't fall. The top running backs available, Eckler, ETN, Javonte Williams. We might be able to go. Let's see here. Jamar Chase is there. Let's try wide receiver, and see what running backs we can cook up. Jacobs went. Eckler went. Not a lot of Miles Sanders. That's fine. Montgomery, that was a shame. Monty would have been a good running back. Okay. ETN's there. That's pretty good. Javonte Williams is there. Michael Carter's still there. I think this is going to work out just fine. Herbert's still there. We got to go running back at this point if anything's even close to being even. I'm always best player available, but when things are really, really close and you have a dire need, I do lean a little bit and it helps sway me essentially. And I love ETN here. I'm going to draft ETN. Look at the wide receiver run. We went against the grain. Literally only 1 running back was taken since our 4.7 pick. Do you see how amazing it can be when you go against the grain and runs start happening and you're going against traffic? Only one running back was taken in that string of 10 picks to get back to our pick. And now Javonte Williams, who there was no reason he should have been available, is available for us. Gonna look at wide receivers real quick. Devontae Smith there though. What do we do? We need a running back really bad though. And they're pretty close. Hunt could be there. Michael Carter could still be there. I'm going Devontae Smith. Even though we had luck on our side, Javonte just went. A running back run was pretty deep there. But now it's wide receiver run. Look at the wide receivers. Oh, we got kind of lucky there. And now at running back, we have Carter available still. Maybe Sermon falls to us as well. Quarterbacks, we'll probably be okay because I think maybe Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, we can try that approach again. We're going to go running back here. We're going to go Michael Carter. Only one running back went. Two running backs went. Two running backs I don't even like. Ronald Jones and Chase Edmonds went. So that leaves Trey Sermon for us. And honestly, I don't think I'd even hesitate unless Burrow. Oh, these are tough decisions. Now I've got Burrow and Sermon looking at me, staring me in the face. I love Burrow, but you know what? We need the running back more. They are pretty close to even in my mind, so we're going to lean. Mike Davis is there too. Mike Davis is there. I'm going to go, this is Dynasty, I'm going to go Trey Sermon. Joe Burrow went. Hurts went. A-Rod. So we could get ballsy and take Watson. We could do what we've been doing. I could take Trey Lance and then Brady, or Trey Lance and Zach Wilson. I'm going to go ahead and take Trey Lance. And again, we could take Jimmy G to be like triple safe. And Watson just went. So we can take Zach Wilson here and try my approach that I like. We could take Mike Davis as well. I think I don't want to teach you to draft a quarterback that may not even play. Look at Tunyon still there. See, Tunyon's not showing up as a tight end, but he's the second highest ranked wide receiver here. He's a steal in these sleeper drafts, so make sure you're looking for that. We could go Mike Davis, but I think it's smart for us to get that quarterback that, in my opinion, Zach Wilson can be a top 5 guy. It's a phenomenal team. All right, let's take a look at our squad. So if we're starting 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs and a flex, you would be looking at Travis Etienne and Michael Carter and Trey Sermon as your running back. Kind of a questionable group of runners, like a lot of upside, a lot of dynasty value, but you're going to be like, oh, that team is very, very light. And then you take a look at the wide receivers in the flex: Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Smith. If Sermon ends up being a top 10 running back of the future, if Etienne's a top 10 running back of the future, if Trey Lance or Zach Wilson become top 5 to 7 quarterbacks of the future, this becomes a monster dynasty squad for a decade. This is not an approach I advise a very anxious person to roll with. It's not a good approach for somebody that worries about every little detail and they can't sleep at night because their running back 2 is weak, and the kind of person that we talk about, a fantasy Karen, that will undo everything they did because they did a risky move and they want to back out of it. They destroy their team trying to get back to where they were. This is for the fantasy owner that likes to do a dice roll and build a monster team because they know sleeperu.com, they know how to land those sleepers that can win leagues. The next James Robinson. Out of the 3 drafts that we did, this is probably the most interesting draft that we did. This is the one that feels like the craziest but the most fun. I couldn't imagine having Jefferson, Lamb, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Smith with Sermon, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Etienne all on the same team. The only player missing from this type of scenario and team would be Kyle Pitts. That would take it over the top. But I like this team. There you have it. That's how to crush the 1.02 like a boss in 2021. Now get after it. Get on over to smitty1.com. I have all my links, my audio podcast, my sleeperu.com links. You can get my bold predictions, my heysmitty.com link, or just go to heysmitty.com so you can get your text service from me. Text message me. I carry this phone around just for you guys. It's an extra phone line. You text me, I'll call you. Order the service today at heysmitty.com so we can work on trades, cook up trade offers. I can help you with start bench advice. You name it, heysmitty.com. And don't forget to join me every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern for 2 hours straight. Every Tuesday, Thursday, the Fantasy Football Show live. You can always catch my show going to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Now get after it.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show. I'm Smitty.